Hi, friends, and welcome to my daily diary. I am going to talk to you about what I did on the following 3 days, Sunday the 26th, Monday the 27th, and Tuesday the 28th of February of 2023. Great and productive days. Sunday, I was back in my office and just lots of desk work, aside from, of course, got up early as usual, and aside from the 10 a.m. live broadcast of the scripture reflection, which I know many of you follow, I hope you all do, and church, I also did the following work at my desk. First of all, a lot of following up on paperwork that had accumulated during the days I was traveling, and then planning of upcoming interviews, the broadcast schedule for the coming week or two, updates to our elections webpage, a lot of updates that we have to be making constantly, of course, to keep you up to date. The Abortion Recovery Coalition Leaders Meeting, some planning for that since we are a leading abortion recovery ministry. Trip plan coming up for Washington, D.C. Had to be in touch with various people in advance in regard to that. Planning the taping of spots, working in communication with our studio and technical team. Adjustments to the liturgical resources that are online. There are always updates needed to those. Following up on the meetings with bishops in the mailing to bishops that we recently did. Approving and planning upcoming advertisements in various journals for conferences. And also creating the monthly note from the pastoral director that I prepare for both Rachel's Vineyard and Silent No More. So these were items together, as I say, with overall organizing, looking at the upcoming schedule especially it was the end of February, so I was looking at the schedule for March and making sure all the details of the March schedule were in place. That takes a number of hours to do when you're looking at the whole month. And so that was together with some extra prayer and reflection and just Lord's Day rest, the agenda for Sunday, the 26th of February, as I say, all spent here at my headquarters. Monday, the 27th, therefore, I was ready for a full day with the staff and started out right away with some early morning taping in the studio. And then my administrative phone call at breakfast time, followed by the staff briefing at 8:30, followed by immediate meetings with various staff members in different departments to get the work of the week underway. Then work at my desk, things like upcoming trip plans, upcoming updates to various web pages, planning for the pastoral team's schedule of the monthly or every 6 weeks meeting of the pastoral team that's coming up. Again, updates to the elections calendar for 2023 and 2024 as things get scheduled. Work with our studio team for our broadcast. Preparation of Radio Maria programs. It's one of our weekly radio programs. And the preparation of a fax to the Catholic parishes across the United States. The priests continue to hear from me regularly about the work of our ministry. At 10:30, I had a meeting in our travel department. That's where we look at invitations that have come in for me and others on the team to travel and speak. It was together with the executive director. We were assessing and approving various invitations and finalizing plans for various trips that are already on the calendar. That was at 10:30. 11 o'clock. Our executive director and I met with our social media manager regarding some plans for development in all of that. That led up to the lunch hour. I had a quick lunch here in my office, did some phone calls while having lunch, and then at 1:30, I had a meeting with our political outreach coordinator and our website developer. So again, keeping the web page up to date on election-related items was the topic of that meeting at 1:30, followed by a 2 o'clock meeting with the administration, talking about plans for upcoming pro-life activities. Followed at 2:30 by a radio interview on the Penn and Dexter show. That was a half-hour interview. Followed at 3 o'clock by a TV studio interview where I interviewed Mr. Mark Meckler with a project called the Convention of States. Did the interview with him for a half hour for our Praying for America program. When that was done, I checked back on my emails and then went right back into the TV studio for a 4 o'clock taping for, again, Praying for America program. And then a meeting at 4:30 with our executive manager, and then at 5 with our executive director. And then in the evening, I had a quick dinner here at the office, and then I had a round of phone calls in preparation for the Day of the Unborn Child, which is March 25th. I had a round of phone calls lasting right up until about 9:30 in planning some special activities that you'll be hearing about that I'll be doing at an abortion mill and elsewhere for the Day of the Unborn Child. And that brought me to, let's see, that was Monday the 27th, and Tuesday the 28th of February, the last day of February, I had a combination of desk work, staff meetings, and studio tapings. As you can see the pattern when I'm here at the office. Some of the topics I dealt with at my desk via email involved communicating with some of our active priests around the country and planning for get-togethers with them, and also some taping of them on some of our broadcasts. More work on the schedule of our upcoming pastoral team meeting. A special letter to our highest donors. I wrote and approved that. Planning for upcoming trips. Work on upcoming conventions that we're going to be part of. More plans for the March 25th special events for the Day of the Unborn Child. Working on invitations from media for interviews. Working on opinion pieces for various publications that publish us. Getting ready for the California March for Life, some communications about that to take place March 6th. And ordering of some books. I'm also always ordering books that are the latest books regarding abortion, and making sure my staff gets me the appropriate copies of those. At 9 a.m., I had after our staff briefing, I had my administrative calls, and then our staff briefing. Right after our 8:30 staff briefing, I went into the studio for a 9 a.m. interview on Real America's Voice. Did that interview updating the audience on pro-life developments, and then went back to my desk for working on a number of those topics I just listed. Followed at 11 o'clock by a meeting with our executive director and executive manager. Important meeting looking at the data for our colleagues in pro-life leadership, those that are involved in the leadership meetings that we have, and just updating our communications with them, following up on the big meeting we had recently about which you have heard. Special meeting at 11:30 in regard to upcoming travels of various members of our team, making sure we're all set for those trips, followed by a quick lunch in my office, followed by a couple of hours of desk work and phone calls and quick meetings with different staff. For example, I had at 3 o'clock my political outreach director come in together with our social media director. We were talking about ways that we're leveraging social media to have an impact on the upcoming elections. And then, again, working on that list of topics I just mentioned. When 4 o'clock rolled around, I was in the TV studio again, taping our Praying for America program. I did 2 of those programs in a row, so that was taping from like 4 to 5. And then at 5, I went into our gift entry department, and they gave me a monthly report about our monthly pledgers. Those of you that donate to us automatically each month, we always analyze the trends, and we thank you for your support, because the support is stable and strong. After that, I took my evening walk, made a phone call to my mom, and made a couple of other phone calls to some of our senior administrative staff while I was getting my exercise in out there in our backyard. And then when all that was done, it was time to get a quick dinner And then I was pretty tired. I went to bed early after some just a little bit additional quiet work here in my office. So that was Tuesday, February the 28th. Thanks for watching my daily diary updates, and thanks for what you do for this great cause of pro-life.